All right, so today I want to talk to you about data collection when you are running experiments. Okay, this is something that I was enough to learn the hard way during my PhD when you're thinking about different ways that you run experiments and how important the different data collection mechanisms are depending on the different ways you're running experiments. So let's just start with the sort of simplest version of an experiment, right? So let's just say it is some sort of a hypothesis. So let's just say your hypothesis is if I have shop pay on my checkout, then it's going to improve my conversion rate. Okay, so it's like shop pay in checkout will improve conversion rate. Now, the nice thing about this sort of simple way of doing experiments is that there's only one metric you need to measure. You know what it is beforehand. You know what success looks like because you have one that has shop pay, you have another one that doesn't have shop pay, and then you just see the difference between the metric in these two. Okay, super easy. The one that I want to spend more time on is how do you get more sophisticated than that? And how do you learn the things that you are the non-obvious things because the question is not obvious beforehand also. And so this is what I would call like more sophisticated data collection and is really sort of discovery-based experimentation. And so we've talked about this in a previous Whiteboard Wednesday. Um, Go back and check on my LinkedIn's or on my Twitter's for different versions of discovery-based, but I'm going to just give an example. So let's just say I'm going to run a piece of creative and I want to see, does this creative work? That is a discovery-based thing because it's like work can mean anything, right? So does this creative work? So I'm putting a piece of creative into Facebook and it's like, does it work? The instrumentation in Facebook is easy because Facebook is instrumented out the wazoo, right? So you launch a piece of creative and Facebook gives you tons of metrics, right? So Facebook gives you delivery metrics so you can look at what is the type of audience that that ad ends up getting served to the most. So it's telling you who is resonating with that ad. It is telling you things like the hold rate, the click-through rate, the cost per action, the ROAS, the conversion rate on the site off of that ad. And so it's giving you an incredible amount of data. And that's because Facebook has already done all the instrumentation for you, and they have thought about this question. And that's why Facebook is amongst the best ad platforms out there, is because they really know that instrumentation is what matters. You should take that same concept and apply it to the things that you own. So let's just say it's your website. How do you instrument your website to give you insights that are non-obvious? I'll give you an example. Let's just say you're running an email campaign, okay? So you have your email, and then everybody who comes from that email to your site, let's just say it's for some sort of like, it's a t-shirt campaign of some variety, right? And so from that t-shirt campaign, now what you want to do is you want to think about everything that's worth instrumenting. So when they're on the collection page, where do they spend time? Where do they move up and down a lot? And so is it causing confusion that they're on the collection page? When they're in the PDP, which sections of the PDP are they clicking on? Which sections are they dwelling on? What are the images that they go to first? And none of this comes out of the box because this is a combination now of behavior and of events, right? So a click is an event, and click events are easy to register, but behaviors like where are they dwelling time, where are they spending time, that's way harder to collect. And so think about instrumenting all of that against the given campaign. And now what happens is you launch the campaign, and if you can actually look at all of those different things and automate the data collection and instrument the data collection to be more holistic, you can learn things that you did not realize before. So for example, let's just say that off of a particular email, the first thing that happens that you notice is, hey, that's weird. Why is everybody spending a ton of time in the sizing chart? Whereas when people come from our Facebook ads, they don't spend a ton of time on our sizing chart. And maybe what you will learn is something about your messaging in the email makes people go so deep into the consideration, or for whatever reason, the way that you describe the product in the email makes people uncertain about their sizing for whatever reason, right? And so now it is teaching you things about the whole journey because you are fully instrumented in a way in which allows you to see patterns that you would not see if it was purely hypothesis driven, where all you're asking is like, hey, does it improve conversion rate? Does it improve add to carts? Things that you have already well defined. And so this is a concept in experimentation that I think is super important, is data and instrumentation in experimentation, and to be more full funnel about it. All right, I'll see you in the next one.